Do you have one of these? A passport? Do you use it for ID? And what happens when your identification doesn't match your gender identity? Well, that's the question that's been raised this week as Stonewall announced as part of their 5-year plan for trans rights in the UK a call for gender neutral options X on passport. Stonewall stated that by adding the X classification to passports it would make travelling an easier experience for people who don't identify as male or female at passport control. But why do we need this? This is the very question I asked Tara Stone, part of the Stonewall advisory group that drew up the 5-year vision for change.
X markers on passports. At the moment, as we currently stand, we have a system that labels passports as male or female, and from a gender perspective that erases and invalidates non-binary people. If they want to get a passport, they have to get a passport with that male or female designator, in effect misgendering themselves. I think it's really important that we have a means of recognising non-binary people in ID, because it means when non-binary people get this, it legitimises their identities in a way that doesn't exist at the moment. Every time that marker is actually used, it means someone knows that that person has chosen that mark. They're either non-binary or they could be intersex as well, they're for intersex people as well, but they know that that person identifies outside of that male or female designator.
And I totally agree. As someone who just recently updated her passport, I was afraid to fly. I was afraid that travelling on my old passport would bring up awkward questions and dehumanising pat-downs that transgender people still face today when travelling on airlines. People should be able to self-identify their gender, and having that option on the passports eliminates the need for awkward conversations at airports and in other situations, because it clearly shows that you identify as something other than male or female. And from that, being able to get on a plane and go abroad or have your details changed without having that anxiety-inducing moment of having to continue to come out to someone and explain your gender identity. Trans people just want an easy life, and this is going to help those that don't identify within the binary to do so. And for those that don't believe that non-binary identities are real or valid, I'll leave the final word on that to Tara.
When we look at gender as a whole, we look at gender being very socially constructed, and within that construct, people have a right to self-definition. And what I would say to someone, if they remove one person's right to self-define, then they remove everyone's right to self-define. These people, their ideologies about themselves are threatened by non-binary people. So what they then do is they lash out at non-binary people as a means of actually defending their sense of self. But it's misdirected anger, and we all just self-define in the end. That's what gender is. It's our sense of self-definition, and everyone has a right to basically dictate what that means to them. And as I say, if someone feels that they have the right to take that away from someone else, then I would argue, well, equally, if you can do that to someone else, then other people can do that to you. So let's just not do that.
But what's your thoughts? Let us know in the comments down below. Till next time, social folk.